the best the bench the starting point of the industrial revolution 5.0,
Oh, okay. All right.
even more 5.0.
Yeah, that's why I got a shock. Wow. You just said 5.0. Okay, yeah, it's very true, doctor. I agree. So anyway, doctor, have all the staff in Wuhan has been offered vaccination, or how is it over there?
I think in what is it in I think all of the staff and lecturer in Indonesia Defense University already vaccinated.
Oh, wow, that is a great thing. At
Yeah.
least, at least we get to, do our part to fight COVID-19. How about the students, doctor?
Uh, Most of the student also already vaccinated.
Oh,
The undergraduate, all of the undergraduate student already vaccinated. Some of the graduate and doctoral program also already vaccinated.
no, that is really very fast, doctor. Was it, if you don't mind, doctor, I'm being naughty. I would like to ask something off the record since it's not being recorded, right?
Yeah,
Was it an enforcement or was it voluntary?
it's mandatory.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
What was the major concern? I believe it was it on the halal matter, doctor, or on the safety matters? more. How's the online learning experiences? I believe Doctor is lecturing as well. So how do you find it? How on your side you are finding it? And how do you cope with it? And then how is your students managing it? I just would like to know from Unhan perspective, Doctor.
That's a difficult question and very complicated.
Yeah, actually.
I think we have a same experience facing some difficulty on the screen because not all of the knowledge can be explained or
Yes.
easily delivered by the on the screen.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
I do face the same issues, Doctor, especially when I actually lecture on electronics. Just imagine, Doctor, how do you explain a circuit using a slide? So normally I will do on a video, and then that recorded video I will send it to my students to see after the lecture. Oh yes, Doctor.
So you have YouTube. So
No,
you
I'm actually very shy towards camera, Doctor.
I thought that you have a plenty video recorder on the YouTube.
No, Doctor. What I do is I record using my tablet, but no face. It's just my voice and a whiteboard, blackboard. And then what I will do is I will send it to them personally using Telegram, because I didn't want the world knows me too much. I'm a bit shy, Doctor.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your attention? We are about to begin our agenda today, so please find a perfect seat, turn on your camera, and make yourself comfortable. Thank you.
This meeting is being recorded.
Wabarakatuh. Good morning. Best wishes for all of us. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Good morning, honorable speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in the Overseas Study Program of Defense Management Faculty, Republic Indonesia Defense University 2021. The Honorable, the Dean of Defense Management Faculty of Republic Indonesia Defense University, Rear Admiral Dr. Kasih Prihantoro, Dean of Defense Studies and Management Faculty of National Defense University of Malaysia, Lieutenant Colonel Professor Madya Arifin bin Ismail, Vice Dean of Defense Management Faculty of Republik Indonesia Defense University, Air Force Marshal Anton Iman Santosa, Speaker and Moderator from National Defense University of Malaysia and Republic Indonesia Defense University, Lecturer and staffs of Defense Management Faculty of Republic Indonesia Defense University, and all of the students of Defense Management Faculty of Republic Indonesia Defense University and Defense Studies and Management Faculty, National Defense University of Malaysia. Let us praise to the Almighty for His blessings that we are able to conduct the Overseas Study Program of Defense Management Faculty 2021 with Team Management of National Resources for Defense and Security. We would like to say thank you for all of the participants to attend this first session today. Let us proceed to our main agenda. The first presentation session from Mr. T.S. Suresh Tanakodi. And for our first session will be guided by the moderator, Mr. Nugroho Adisasongko, Bachelor of Engineering, Master of Science, PhD, who is a lecturer in Indonesia Defense University. Our first session will be about artificial resource management for defense concept. And before we proceed further, we would like to read the curriculum vitae of today's moderator. Nugroho Adisasongko. He is a lecturer in Defense Management Faculty, Republic Indonesia Defense University. He's also an expert in energy system, life cycle assessment, system dynamic, also in defense technology. He got PhD degree in intelligence system for bioproduction, machinery, and energy engineering, process engineering in the University of Tsukuba, Murdoch University. He got Master of Science degree in Mechanical Structural Engineering and Material Sciences Risk Management in University Stavanger. He also got Bachelor of Engineering in Physics Engineering in Institute Technology Bandung. He has also several experiences as visiting researcher and lecturer, such as in Malaysia, Japan International Institute of Technology, or UTM, Telemark University College, University of Southeastern Norway, Aalborg Universitet Esbjerg, Denmark, Technische Universiteit München, Germany, the University Center in Svalbard, Brawijaya University, and Bakri University. He also active in a few organizations such as Technical Board Committee at Indonesian Engineers Association, board member of Expert Council at Ikatan Alumni Habibie, chairman of Presidium at Ikatan Alumni Research Pro World Bank Brain. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. T.S. Suresana Kodi and Mr. Nugroho Adisa Songko. And for the moderator, the floor is yours.
Very good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, MC, Ms. Rifa Mutiara Bako, for forwarding the session. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Best wishes for all of us. Salam, Namo Buddhaya, Om Swastiastu. The Honorable Rector of the Republic of the Indonesia Defense University, Vice Admiral Professor Dr. Amarullah Rafian, Naib Chancellor of National Defense University of Malaysia, Lieutenant General Dato Hasagaya bin Abdullah, Dean of Faculty of Defense Studies and Management of National Defense University of Malaysia, Lieutenant Colonel Professor Madya Arifin bin Ismail, Vice Dean of Defense Management Faculty of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, Air Force Marshal Anton Iman Santosa, all secretaries of the study program and lecturers of the Defense Management Faculty of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, all lecturers and students of Malaysia National Defense University of Malaysia, all students of Defense Management Faculty of the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, and all students of Faculty of Defense Studies and Management, National Defense University of Malaysia, whom we are proud of. Our distinguished participants, first of all, let us praise Almighty God for His grace, blessing, giving how today we are able to conduct and participate virtually in the Republic of Indonesia Defense University Overseas Study Program of the Defense Management Faculty with the theme of the Management of National Resources for Defense and Security. Before we start the presentation, let me introduce our honorable speaker today, Mr. Suresh Tanakodi from UPNM. Let me show his curriculum vitae. Oh, it's a quite long curriculum vitae, Mr. Suresh. I have to summarize your personal curriculum vitae. Mr. Suresh Tanakodi, his current position is a lecturer at Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at UPNM. He took a bachelor degree from University Teknologi Malaysia in Electrical Engineering and master degree of Electrical Engineering in Electrical Power from the same university, University of Teknologi Malaysia. the things that I'm very interested with your curriculum vitae is the certified energy manager.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because it's quite relevant with our uh, background here in energy security in our department.
Oh, I
And
wish
you
to
have
contribute.
yes, we he has a long experience with the energy simulation, artificial intelligence, and so on in various activities. And he also teach several courses from basic electronic, power system engineering, renewable energy, circuit analytic. It's very hard engineering skill. Uh, and also he also supervised some of the students in Malaysia, and I think you have a quite long CV here. I have to read one by one here. So, and also very interesting research and publication and presentation here. You have various research project, uh, for example, development of real-time monitoring system of top oil temperature for transformer, and some other project related with the energy engineering research. And also you have uh, quite abundance of the publication on the international level, more than 6. And I think we can continue with your presentation directly to see, to learn from you your experience and your expertise in this field. So, Mr. Suresh, before we start the presentation, maybe in Malaysia you have pantun. I don't know you experience with the pantun or not, but let me try my pantun here
All right.
with the Indonesian version.
Oh, that's great.
Makan nasi lemak di pagi hari bersama kopi hangat, bersama selamat datang narasumber kami, salam hormat.
Oh,
So shortly, let's start today's seminar. The lecture will be divided into two parts. The first part is a lecture from the Mr. Suresh Tana Kodi from UPNM, and the second is Q&A, question and answer. Please welcome Mr. Suresh. Your time is approximately 20 minutes. You can extend if you want more time. Please
I
welcome.
think, yes, thank you. So I may start right now.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to this opportunity. And thank you, Dr. Adi, as a moderator. I'm actually grateful. Thank you for the MC as well. I'm grateful to my parents, to my teachers, lecturers, for my students, and for all the resources that God have given me. I am very grateful to God for this opportunity. I feel very small to be among all the distinguished people here, including the participant. As I always say and practice, I'm here not to teach anyone. Only God is Almighty can teach. And in His name, we all are here to share, learn, and to relearn, and again, continuous learning process. I believe is the same anywhere. Learning process will never stop, just like the wave of the ocean. So with that, allow me to just say selamat pagi kepada semua. Dr. Adi, you gave me a pantun. When in here, the culture is when you get a pantun, I have to sell it back to you. I have to reply. But you caught me there with a surprise. So I can't come up with a pantun right now. never mind, I'll think of something later on. So let me start on the presentation. I might need some time because this presentation, we will be virtual. Since we are virtual, one good thing is that we can visit many places virtually, and also we can learn so many things. I believe the theme for today is management of national resources for defense and security. So we will be focusing on artificial intelligence in defense resource management, and we will try to go a little bit on the management of the natural resources as well. Because we in ASEAN, I believe we are actually in God's heaven land. We have all the resources and there are plenty of it. So before I start, I'm so sorry for the lengthy CV, Dr. Adi. I actually do have my latest version, which is in one page. Next time I will share it. Please kindly forgive for for any trouble that I have caused everyone. Basically, I'm a senior lecturer. I was in electrical department for the past 12 years in electrical power. And basically, I would like to venture more because I see 70% of the world is in ocean and sea water. And ASEAN countries, especially Malaysia and Indonesia and Philippines, as well as Brunei, we can see we are maritime nations. And when we talk about world strategic thinking, we are the most strategic region where we connect West and East. Actually, we are the meeting point of West and East. We can say that, ASEAN, especially Indonesia. And actually, we are grateful to be in Malaysia, and we are very grateful to Indonesia's land, because Indonesia's land, especially Sumatra, it actually subdues if there is any tsunami waves and so on. So we're very grateful to Indonesia as well. So basically, I'm having that motivation in my hand. I requested to venture in science and maritime technology. So currently I'm attached as a senior lecturer at Department of Science and Maritime Technology under Faculty of Science and Defense Technology. I do hold a position as a research fellow in Maritime Research Center of Excellence. And Dr. Adi, I'm very happy if we can do a webinar as well on ocean energy and so on. So I hope everybody can see my slide presentation. Is it clear?
Not yet.
All right. So with that in hand, all right. Let me start off the presentation that we do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We actually borrow it from our children and grandchildren. Bumi ini adalah pinjaman anak cucu kepada kita dan bukanlah warisan nenek moyang kita. So seboleh-bolehnya, as much as we can, let's take care of the planet of Earth. And we understand the pandemic is here. Please kindly take care of the mask that we wear and dispose it accordingly, because there's a lot of masks actually hanging around in ocean. So let us.
Suresh,
Yes.
sorry, yes. Your presentation slides
Uh-huh.
have already appeared here. We haven't seen.
All right. Just give
Couldn't
me
see your slides.
Okay, one moment. Let me see.
You haven't shared screen.
Oh, I did not share the screen. One moment.
Excellent.
Okay. That is great. So as far as I said earlier, I'm a senior lecturer at Department of Science, Maritime Technology and a research fellow at Maritime Research Center of Excellence. So if this slide is visible, let's move on to the next slide. As I have said, let us take care of this planet of Earth as God have given us and entrusted us, amanah kepada kita. So before we go into these slides and into the discussion of artificial intelligence, let's see what the world is and how would the future be in a very short video presentation. Yeah.
When everything becomes linked with everything else, matter becomes mind, and the possibilities become endless. Imagine 50 billion IoT connected devices by 2020.
I'll just give a moment. There's a slight technical.
When everything becomes linked with everything else, matter becomes mind, and the possibilities become endless. Imagine 50 billion IoT connected devices by 2020. Now, imagine the economic impact of these connected machines. $4 to $11 trillion per year by 2025. Wearable devices, environmental sensors, agricultural machinery, components in a vehicle, or devices in homes can all be connected to deliver insights and drive transformation. So imagine if you had smart devices in your home, your car, your workplace, or even on yourself. The world becomes alive. That's Internet of Things. The Internet of Things is making everyday objects into data factories. When Internet of Things, along with big data, meets artificial intelligence, this interface will become enlivened with intelligence, and a new world will take birth, which will increasingly talk back to us. Imagine the kind of world that it would be. Imagine the revolution it will usher in the way we see the world. The external world will become the extension of our mind, like an extension of our thoughts. Imagine a world that is responsive, a world that is optimized for human creativity, a world that is intelligent. The Internet of Things is a breeding ground for new AI-driven solutions and experiences, from self-driving cars to intelligent homes to health. Welcome to the world of endless possibilities.
All right, so welcome to the world of endless possibilities. So that is AI. So let us see. All right. So let us see, in this presentation, it will be covered in two parts, part A and part B. Part A, it will be talking more a little bit of theoretical on introduction of AI and defense resources. And I will include a little bit on, since our theme is on natural resources. So part A will be like AI, defense resources, and natural resources. In part B, we'll be visiting some places and on the current AI in the industries. It will not be limited to defense, but it will be tailored made to defense, and we will see on other skills as well. So let us first see, what is artificial intelligence? In a short way, of course, it's written on the slide, aims to truly create intelligent system based on AI. Is very simple. AI is the way how our mind think, how we can operate. So it's the capacity given by the humans. Artificial intelligence are created by humans. We are created by the higher intelligence. We can call our Almighty. He's a super intelligent. He's the highest intelligence level. So he created us, and we are creating the next being, which is known as artificial intelligence. Maybe some people will just say artificial intelligence, it may be just like robots. But if you would like to know, Sophia Robot, if you have heard of her, Sophia Robot have actually came to Jakarta as well, as for what last I checked. So Sophia Robots do actually have some emotions. They are building their emotions. They are trying to give emotion. I will explain through the presentation how actually artificial intelligence can become intelligence. But for that, we have to understand on the history of artificial intelligence. That will be on the next slide. But let me give in a nutshell, artificial intelligence is actually a system that is created based on our own intelligence. So can it be evolved to be better than us? Yes, that is a possibility. And we will see how big data actually pumps or drives the artificial intelligence. But anyway, I would not want to bore you with my talk. So let us hear one small presentation on what is artificial intelligence.
Before we answer that, let's look at these terms individually. What do you understand by the term artificial? Well, it can be anything that's made by humans, things that are non-natural. And what do you understand by intelligence? It is the ability to understand, think, and learn. So what do we get when we combine these two together? Artificial intelligence is a broad area of computer science that makes machines seem like they have human intelligence. The goal of AI is to mimic the human brain and create systems that can function intelligently and independently. They say that the age of AI is here. But then you might be wondering, why don't you see flying cars or robotic maids bringing you lunch? Why doesn't your life look more like the Jetsons? Well, for starters, that's a cartoon. And when it comes to AI, a robot is nothing more than a shell concealing what's actually used to power the technology. AI can manifest itself in many different ways. If you have ever asked Alexa to order your food or browse Netflix movie suggestions, you are actually interacting with AI without realizing it. And that's kind of the point. AI is designed so you do not realize that there is a machine calling the shots. In the near future, AI is expected to become a little less artificial and a lot more intelligent. As AI becomes more intelligent, it will obviously take on the role of an intelligent worker. While most of the repetitive and largely time-oriented tasks can be automated using AI, we will still need human experts who can build and maintain these synthetic bots and work on the strategic and creative aspects of a job. So in conclusion, AI is a boon that can help optimize any job. This means that, as always, it's not AI versus humans. Rather, it is a combination of humans and AI versus the actual problem statement. So what are you waiting for? Pull up your socks and get ready to be a part of this AI revolution. Start learning this trending technology using EduReca's expertly curated courses. Until next time, happy learning.
All right. That's a short presentation on what AI is. So I believe this current generation learning, we need some movement. So I've actually included some videos, presentations, so that you can understand better. So will you think, when there's the question arises, will AI take over human beings? But what I can tell is, can we take over God? So it's the same, something similar. But we don't treat AI, the robots, as a foe or enemy. They can complement each other. But how can we complement? If you are in the defense sector, you will see how the robot IODs, they can actually diffuse the bombs instead of human being going and losing some limbs. So let's embark on this journey more. For that, we need to see the evolution of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, the godfather or the founding father is known as Alan Turing. So he actually made it in 1950s. So as you can see, in 1964, in 1955, AI was born, and it was progressing well up to 1966. And then there is from 1966 to 1997, it is known as the first AI's winter. What do we mean by AI's winter? During the winters.
Mr. Suresh?
Yes, Dr. Hadi.
I'm sorry, I interrupt your presentation. Is that possible to make your screen as a one single screen, please?
Oh, it's not a one single screen?
Yeah, it's double. Current and next slide. Is that possible? If not possible, please continue. But if
okay, let me check. Yeah, just give me a moment.
maybe you go to the display setting on the top, left top.
Oh, yes, I can see this. All right.
Yes, that one.
Do I swap? Or
I, hmm, seems that,
is it better?
yeah, that's better.
Ah, okay. So you are just watching only one slide, right?
Yeah, it's better, it's bigger, one
Ah,
single screen.
I'm so sorry because actually I have two screens here. One is the big larger screen and one is the laptop version. So I was thinking I was presenting and watching here. Okay, now I understand. So sorry, Dr. D.
No worries. Thank you, Chris.
Participant, do kindly forgive me. I'm also learning. This COVID. All right. So basically, when you can see what happened during 1966 to 1997, we called it as AI winter. Why is it known as AI winter? What happened was um, we were progressing very well. And why is it known as winter is because there is no longer people interested in the AI. Because in order, I think Dr. Adi as well will agree with me, in order for research and development to take place, the first and foremost is the budget and financial. So when AI's budget and financial were pumped in during the days, and uh, it it met dead ends. So it have made AI depopular. It was no longer trending. If you can see human worlds or humans' nature, there is always a trending. If you can see, at one point, nasi lemak was trending. Then, when comes the Korean culture, now it's more on K-pop. I can relate this to you. In Indonesia, back those days, do you know Bollywood was very trending? It's known as Bollywood was very trending. So many people were interested in Bollywood's attire, Bollywood's song, Shah Rukh Khan, and so on. But when we talk to this generation is no longer B generation. They are K-pop generation. They are more towards Korean food, Korean songs, Korean actors. So as such, AI has lost its trend during 1966 to 1997 due to a lot of many failures and dead ends. You might be thinking, why does it happen? You have to understand, when we are a child, you have to look at artificial intelligence as a baby. When the baby actually have our brain, and the baby have many layers of learning. So for it to learn, just imagine if the baby is left in a room with no interaction, nobody is there to talk, you will see the baby are unable to talk. There are some late speech for the baby. Is such in AI during 1966 to 1997, you can see there is not much on World Wide Web. There is not much on internet. You might be wondering why there is not much, because the materials, like right now, those days we were using coaxial cable. Right now we have satellite, we have fiber optics. So the information passes at the light of speed. So that is the reason why AI went into a winter season, which is like hibernation, and it pops up back in 1997 when IBM's Deep Blue computer actually for the first time defeated the world chess champion Garry Kasparov. I believe everybody in chess game knows Garry Kasparov. He's a very smart and a world winner. So Deep Blue Deep Blue is the program of a computer done by IBM. It actually defeated Garry Kasparov. And so AI takes place. And then during slowly, it also takes place. And without we realizing, there is AI in everything. I believe there is Gojek, I rasa lah. In Malaysia, it's known as Grab. In Indonesia, we have Gojek, kan? So Gojek is also AI. It finds you where you are, and it finds where is the rider. It connects both of them. So AI learns. when the first time Grab came into place, I was the first supporter to install Grab. I believe you will be doing the same, Gojek. You can see your position and the driver's position was not same. There was many hiccups. Why? Because the AI is trying to learn. It believes this is the truth, and then it knows from the feedback from us, it learns. So AI is always learning. And the best part is that the currently, if anybody owning iPhone, you can talk to Siri, or if you have Android phone, you can talk to Google. There is already a lot of advancement. You can even hum, or just record, or you let Google to find what is the song is being played. You can actually try it on your phone yourself. And then in 2017, we can also see Google's AI, which is known as AlphaGo, actually have beaten the world's champion on the board game known as Go. Actually, we have that in YouTube. I couldn't pull up a lot of videos for you. No matter, I'm always happy to share webinars with all of you. We can have another session. We can see a lot of it. So basically, this is the AI's evolution. As we can see, from 1950 to now 2021, AI have grown a lot. The reason for AIs to grow, you will be surprised. It is not AI grown because of course, we are grateful to the scientists and engineers and machine learning engineers, yes, but the true person or the true people made AI successful for what it is today and for what to come tomorrow. It is no one else than us, the users. As you can see, I believe everybody have this smartphone. Every time you are interacting with the smartphone, the AI is learning through the supercomputer, quantum computings. It is learning everything from all of us. And the best feeder information for AI is Facebook. Have you ever, anyone, you can actually interrupt to say yes or no. I just want to make a social experiment with all of you now. Have you ever go to Facebook, okay? Or have you ever on phone call, or have you ever used WhatsApp talking to your friend that you would like to buy a earphone? And after you talk, if you go to Facebook, you are scrolling down, you will be very surprised. Every earphone in the market will be appearing on the left corner, just like my double screen just now. It will be appear. Earphone, 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 earphone. When you go to Instagram, earphone advertisement will be following you. In Malay language, we have this marketing technology. We have a name. It's called technique Saka. I do not know whether you know Saka. Saka is the one that follow you all the time. So this marketing technology is known as technique Saka, whereby when you talk to your friend over the phone, through WhatsApp, because WhatsApp is connected to Facebook, Facebook is connected to Instagram, the entire world is connected. So we are connected, so it will be following you. How can an advertisement, what you talk that you would like to buy a headphone or earphone, how the system does know this and it's keep on following. So this is called artificial intelligence, all right? So let's move on to the next slide. All right, how do you do this? Okay, sorry. All right. Let's see what is the artificial intelligence status across the globe, right? Let's see how are our neighboring countries and how are the European region, and how far are we from this? This is a report given by the official for the what we call. Is it double screen or still single screen, right? Okay. This is the report being out by the world's official government. As we can see, we'll be very surprised to see that in ASEAN countries, even Malaysia even in Malaysia, we just having AI strategy forthcoming. If you can see ASEAN region, we are currently equivalent to the South Africa region and also South America. Can you see how our friends in India, in Russia, in China, if you talk about Asia region, all the G8 countries and the Europes are actually have been embarking, they already have completed their artificial intelligence strategy. The strategy has been put in place. Maybe some people will be asking, why is strategy very important? Before we do something, we need to think, we need to strategize, we need to think within 10 years time, where should be our AI? And what are the policies has been made? So as we can see, Canada not only have completed the AI strategy, but they have clear, dedicated strategies. So I believe if we would not want to be left out, working in silo is no longer an option. I believe ASEAN countries, as we have like energy manager for ASEAN's region, we should have artificial intelligence managers. You know, artificial intelligence managers in ASEAN countries. Just imagine those days when you are traveling out of country, you need to pick a passport and you have to chop, and these are done with a very lengthy process of security. But currently in Singapore's airport, we have just passed by, and due to COVID, they are using iris scanner instead of it will be like a virtual immigration officers instead of a real persons. So I believe we need to work in a very well condition. And if you can see our friend in Singapore, Singapore have embedded the AI in a broader strategy. As I said, their airport, Singapore International Airport, is as equivalent to Dubai's airport, which uses AI and virtual immigration officer. I wish I can have more and more webinar sessions as such that we can see virtually and how they have done it. So this is the AI in the current process. And then just let's move on. Okay, we have covered what do we mean by AI. So let's see on defense management. But before we go into the theory of defense management, I also would like to talk about natural resources. If you can see, we have plenty of natural resources. As I said, if we all knew, I believe Indonesia has faced this scenario or these situations whereby we, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, we share the same common sea known as South China Sea. So if you know, how do I put it this? I mean, you cannot deny we have conflict with the Chinese government. Everybody is actually rushing for the South China Sea, rushing for Sulawesi, Straits of Sulawesi, and then rushing for Straits of Malacca. Why is it people are rushing for all these oceans? Because ocean is one of the natural resources. I'm trying to come to our theme first. So from the theme we can see on the defense management. So what are the natural resources that we have in our country? If we talk about ocean, we have plenty of fisheries. Not only fisheries. Do you know how much of hydrocarbons, the oil rig that is available under the oceans? So these are the some natural resources. Apart from Indonesia and Malaysia, we share, how do we see? We share rainforests. We are green people. We have a huge of resources on rainforests, whereby the wood, kayu jati, the wood are actually quite expensive in carpentry works. So these are some of our resources, natural resources. We can say fisheries, ocean energy. We can create renewable energy from the oceans. We can also have hydrocarbons. And actually, one of the resources, do we aware that the ship from China to West for US and the import export actually uses the Straits of Malacca and South China Sea. These resources, when the ships are logistically using the areas, they're actually generating income for our countries. So these are some of our natural resources that we have to take care. So in this presentation, we will see how those resources can be actually taken care using AI. You know, it's much more easier to use AI to have efficiently and effectively monitor all these resources. So, well, let's look at defense management's theoretical or definition. You might be wondering, why is this theory got to do with AI? Allow me, sorry, tongue twisting. Allow me to explain to you why definition is very important. When we are creating AI, when we are creating the baby, the artificial intelligence, it need to learn. So the first thing the AI need to is to recognition. How does it recognize? It need to define. We need to define for it, oh, this is an apple. This is how an apple will look like. This is orange. So we need to recognize, we need to teach the AI to recognize the force planning. That means on the defense management, we are only covering, there's plenty there, armaments planning, how are we going to deploy and how much assets we have, like tank, missiles, okay? Logistic plannings, we will be covering resource planning and logistic planning. Logistic planning is how efficiently, with the reduced carbon emission, can we get our items, can we get our armed forces and the logistic of the armed forces to be efficiently sent on time. Because probably people doesn't realize, if there is a delay in delivering the armed forces requirements, a rifle or weaponry or even the food, can you just imagine at the frontier of base how our armed forces will lose their life just in a split second like that? So it is a very huge important thing that we have a proper logistic planning. As you can see on the left, it's known as C3 planning. Command, control, command, communicate. C3 is control, command, communicate. So those days we were using walkie-talkies. If you remember those days, walkie-talkies, yeah? But right now in the AI era, actually the command center could be in United States, or let's talk about ASEAN. We are ASEANs, but we don't do war, we do defense, right? So, all right, let's say, let's take an example of America and Iraq's war, or defense in Iraq. So the command center was in United States, Washington, let's say in Pentagon. The armed forces are in Iraq, miles away, but the shot can be called just from the center in Pentagon by using the AI's technology, but the sensors that been fixed to the future soldier. But just imagine, even the shot has been called by the Pentagon Center in US, we are still losing human beings. Human beings value, the value that God have given for this body is very huge. So in AI, we can actually send robots instead of human beings, and we can be connected through the EEG set to actually control the robots in Iraq. Can you see? The game changing is there in AI. So we will be also looking at resource planning. What are the resources? Most resources is the human resource, right? So if we have a country that nuclear, this was taken from Pentagon report. So that is their DRAPA. They have nuclear, we do not have that. So they have nuclear planning, and they also have civil military emergency planning. So let's look on the broader perspective on defense resource management. When we talk about defense resource management, there are two important things that we need to cover: the human resource management and defense logistic management. So how are we going to implement AI in human resource management, and how are we going to implement AI in defense logistic management? Let's go on. There are many points that you need to ponder before you can embark on the mission. As a HR manager, let's say you are HR in the defense. Okay, the country says, all right, we have a peacekeeping mission. So the HR, Jabatan Arah Sumber Manusia, the person need to identify the right mixed skills person. That means who is suitable for this mission. Maybe the mission is in Sahara Desert. Maybe the mission is in the South China Sea. So the HR Jabatan Ara, the colonel or the person in charge, the general, he need to put the right people. And that doesn't mean that in a mission, one moment, Dr. Hadi, is everything okay? The participants are very silent. I'm worried.
Everything's okay.
All right.
No problem. It's
No,
okay.
I'm so scared that everybody is very silent.
Okay, we have to make
Normally,
response once you make a presentation. We make response like that.
sorry, because
No worries.
normally in my class I have two ways and I have
Ah,
reactions, so
yes.
I'm feeling very scared. So it's okay, right?
Then can write something in the chat room. No worries.
Yes, yes. Oh, please, participant, do write in the chat room something, but don't ask me too many questions. Don't scare me away. Anyway, I'm just joking. Do tell me if I'm too fast, am I too slow? I'm just worried because learning process normally face-to-face, I can see the face reaction, but I can't see anything because it's online. And when Rifa is using the mask, I do not know whether Rifa is smiling or Rifa is angry with me, but I can see her eyes are rolling up and down. Okay, at least something is happening. Okay, so I just continue. All right, so the general need to have the right mix of skill of person. We can't go for a mission without the core perubatan. Core perubatan, I do not know, but I'm sure you all have core perubatan as well. We must have a medic in the mission as well, right? And we have to have the cook. We have to have everything incomplete. So just imagine when comes a mission, how much of thinking crunching need to be done. And just imagine if it's an emergency situation. Can we respond to it fast? But with AI, AI can identify with the information that we are feeding into AI, AI can identify during the training and everything, how good the person, and we just need to tell AI, okay, the mission is in Sahara. So the AI will do the background check and will identify this person, and the general just need to approve. Even the approval can be using the blockchain technology. So there's so many things we can do. And second, experience, age, rank level before going to a mission. But what are the challenges we have? We have security environment. We wouldn't know if we are venturing into an unknown sea. And we have to check how about our military technology in our country. And we have to check the financial constraint. During COVID-19, the financial will be like more towards recovering the country's economy. We need to think about our people. There's no job for them. When we can take, even we can take a example, Bali. I believe all of you know Bali is a beautiful island, and there were so many foreigners, and Bali was striving with its tourism. But due to COVID-19, there's so many closures. But one thing I always admire Indonesians, especially the Balinese people, is that, and Javanese people as well, they have a strong will, kekuatan semangat untuk terus hidup. Jangan kalah, usah kalah. Terus hidup, terus maju. So the Balinese people had, the tourist people was a very brilliant guy. What he did was he started to breed Apa nama tu? Rumpai laut. What is that rumpai laut? Anybody can help me? English. Rumpai laut. In English, anyone can help me?
Seaweed, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. That's the word I was looking for. Now I can hear somebody's voice. Thanks a lot. Do interrupt me. Do talk. I love talking to human. I love talking to people. All right. Yes, correct. Seaweed. So he changed himself from a tourist guide to a seaweed breeder, and the seaweed was sold. So can you see how human being is a beautiful thing that actually AI cannot be right now yet. It can change itself. We can adapt to ourselves. When there is a will, there is a way. All right. So we also need to look into national ambition. These are the challenges. Just imagine, sometimes people say, general, you are general, what is so hard? No. And then sometimes you'll say, you're a professor, you're a lecturer, what is so hard? No, we wouldn't understand the person until we are at their place. Everyone is actually a baby inside. Everybody is learning. I believe some people will say, you're a minister, can't you? Yes, I understand. But actually, everybody is trying to do the best. So if we have AI, this artificial intelligence, and we have feeding it all this training on the neural network, on the down layers, the artificial intelligence can be a helping tool. Please understand me, can be a helping tool in making a decision. I didn't say AI can make decision. Do not give the power to it. It can help us to make decision. It can help us to see the pro and the contra, the advantage and disadvantages. But do not hand over the decision-making capabilities or the power to a AI. Maybe in future, but not at this moment. So as I was talking, and these are some of the military manpower portfolio. You just imagine, why am I giving all these things here is because these are the information that we need to feed for the AI so that the AI knows, okay, when recruiting, okay, just imagine. I would like to ask, any participant can answer. When you were selected, I believe in Indonesia, we have Darat, General Armed Forces, Darat, and then we have Air Force, and we have Navy. So can anyone tell, can anyone just give me a shot? How do you know that you are suitable for Air Force? Or how do you know that you are suitable for Navy? Anyone? Come on, participant, give me some support. Tolonglah. Anybody? How do you know that yourself is actually suitable for Navy? How do you know? How do you know that you actually belong to Navy? Because right now it's like very hazy. You just go through some criteria and okay, you are Navy. Okay, you are Air Force. We do not have the Harry Potter technology. Do you still remember the Harry Potter movie? There's a hat. When you put on the brain, the hat will say Slytherin, Gryffindor, if you remember that Harry Potter story. So the AI that we are creating is the Harry Potter hat. When we put the hat, it will tell, okay, Navy, all right, Air Force, Armed Forces, you see? So in order for the Harry Potter hat, the AI to do such, we need to tell what are the recruitment and what are the recruitment criteria. Basically, I'm not very qualified to talk about that because I'm a civilian, but I do spend some time with my armed forces colleagues. I'm blessed to have my armed forces colleague, some generals, some Tanshi, 4-star generals. They are very humble. The Malaysian armed forces are very humble, although they are very good, but they're very humble. They like to talk to me and I like to approach them. So I remember talking to them and they told, Suresh, do you know Air Force cannot have bigger size people because the cockpit, when you're selecting pilot, the pilot cannot have a large body frame because of the cockpit is small. And submarine, I'm so sorry for the submarine in Indonesia that may God, may their soul rest in peace. May God bless all their souls. So in submarine, we cannot have big body structures. Why? Because it's a smaller constrained areas. So these are the recruit. If you can see recruit constraint, right? These are the recruit parameters. So that is why I'm having this. We need to know the theory background before we apply to artificial intelligence. So these are the constraints that you need to fit for the recruitment of this. These are the criteria. And then we need to check how is their training. Basically, right now kita just lari, our jurulatih, our trainers, in UPNM we have ALK, Akademi Latihan Ketenteraan. So our trainers will time, okay, 1.5 kilometers run. What is the time taken, right? So just imagine all this data is sitting in a hard copy. When during a time mission, we need somebody that can run fast. How do we go and find? And armed forces is not built by 1, 2, or 10 persons. And imagining Indonesia, such a big, big country, negara yang sangat besar, negara bangsa yang besar, and then we have small islands as well. So how do we choose all these things? That is why training, education, all this data need to be fit into AI. And you can see qualification, promotion. How do we know this person has been qualified to become a major, captain, lieutenant colonel? And then when you are becoming the HR managers at your armed forces, do you know that you need to check whether they have gone for this training, that training? And then when you are doing this manually, you have to remember you are a human being. Maybe you can put into Excel, there's a program in Excel that I've done. You can put it in and then it will pop up reminder to you telling that this person's training or license is going to expire. You need to go and send them. But we are humans. We are prone to make mistakes. That is the beauty of being human being. You must allow to make mistakes so that you will learn. Without making mistake, we cannot learn anything. So do dare to answer to me. Let me make mistakes so I can learn. Let you make mistakes so that you can learn as well. So basically, let's move on to the next slide. I would like to show another presentation about HR in defense. Let's visit them, shall we?
Military Occupational Specialty, Human Resources Specialist. The men and women of this MOS play a crucial role in the Army's human resources system as they assist their fellow soldiers' progress in their Army careers and ensure the necessary manpower support to commanders across all branches and echelons. Because you may handle sensitive information, you must qualify for a secret clearance in this MOS. Then the Army will train you in document preparation, to draft requests for personnel actions, and to oversee official documentation, such as ID cards and tags. You'll also be instructed in the operation of computer programs that keep personnel data up to date in the Army's automated personnel system, and to process personnel-related financial transactions.
Human resources specialists are very important to the Army and how we function as a whole. There's a lot of resources that we need to use to take care of our soldiers. So we need to keep track of how many soldiers we have in each unit and how many are overseas.
We are the grease that keeps the wheels turning. Without the stuff that we do, it would be hard to keep account of personnel and the things that they are doing and where they are from.
After your initial entry training and advanced individual training, you may work in a human resources center with both civilian and military personnel, or be assigned to a deployed unit, where you may be the sole human resources specialist responsible for the entire company or detachment. As a human resources specialist, you may handle the initial paperwork so that fellow soldiers can travel or move to their new duty station. You may be asked to prepare the forms needed to process soldiers in and out of your unit. In the event that fellow soldiers perform actions of merit, you may have the opportunity to process recommendations for awards and decorations. As soldiers advance in their career, you may also prepare duty status changes and assist in the processing of promotion packets, as well as soldiers' applications for specialized training, such as Officer Candidate School and Air Assault School. With additional training, you may be assigned as an executive assistant in an Army headquarters, or assigned as a postal clerk in a military post office. Serving in this MOS, you'll have the opportunity to apply for and earn certification and credentials through the Army's credentialing opportunities online, further assisting your transition from the military to the civilian employment sector.
So it's a pretty important role, not just for the military, but in the civilian world as well.
Every soldier is an infantryman, regardless of the MOS. If I'm in the office and they need me out, I wouldn't hesitate because that's my initial job. That's what we signed up for. That's why we are soldiers.
The Army depends on its human resources specialists to be hard-working professionals of the highest caliber who validate the trust placed in them through their discretion. And
What just happened? All right, maybe, sorry, something, I think it's ended there. If you don't mind, Dr. Adi, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Dr. Adi, is this our students, our participants, are they civilian or reserve unit, or are they actually armed forces as well?
Both.
Both, all right. So that's the reason why I actually included this video, because the reason is sometimes when we are learning, we wouldn't know what is actually happening on the field. So I hope this video actually have given overall how HR armed forces does their work on the field. I hope it's okay, Dr. Adi. Is it okay? I hope the participant find this informational enough. Is it okay?
Everything's okay, but the problem is the video is running very slow.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This must be the internet connection, doctor.
Okay, no worries. It's okay.
I'm very sorry on that part. I am sorry on behalf of the internet. All right, so let's move on.
military.
All right, that was previously on the human resource management. We do have DLM just now, which is Defense Logistic Management. And in US, they call it as AM, Acquisition Management. But I would rather prefer to say as Defense Logistic Management, because when we talk about acquisition management, I'm so worried that we might be constrained. That is just acquiring submarines, acquiring Tomahawk, acquiring these AK-47 and so on. When we talk about resource management, human resource is the biggest resource, yes. But we have to equip our human resources with the right equipments. If their mission is to be in the forest, then we need to equip them with the right rifles and blades and everything. If their mission is in the middle of the sea, then we need to make sure to equip them with the right water supply and so on. So as you can see, when you are making an acquisition, or you are trying to acquire a new defense product, or we are trying to deploy a new the equipment, we have to go through so many process. On the procurement, we have military procurement agency. Definitely they have financial, they have budget, they have the technologies constraint as well. So all these constraints are, we call parameters that need to be fed into AI. Just imagine today the general comes and make a decision, we need to buy a new submarine or a new tank. So how are we going to do it? Definitely all of us down there, we need to go and think. The engineers will be thinking on the technical part. I do not know whether have you experienced this. If you are working in industry, we always have issues The engineers will tell the management never understand them. The management will say engineers doesn't understand them. Both of them actually are on the right track. Both of them are looking at the same page, but in the different directions. Engineers look on the technical part, which is the more technical, the more hebat the technical, the more great the technical is, the more budget is going to up. The management will look on the left-hand side. They will be thinking about cost. Are we going to invest in such thing? So we need to bring both of them to a cross point. Bringing human to the middle point is not something easily can be done. I didn't say it's impossible because it's always right, I am possible, but it will take time and it will take a lot of energy, effort, meetings, understanding another person. But if all the requirements, this is the budget, this is the technical that we need, and we can feed this into AI, AI can run the background and chat can suggest. Definitely human need to approve, but AI can do the back end. So you might be wondering, if AI is going to do all these things, are we going to lose job? No, always remember, when there is a will, there is a way. We just need to upgrade ourselves to be better than the AI. We need to upgrade, just like how the tourist guy changed his profession, tourism, to civic breeder. We need to do the same. So we need to upgrade ourselves. I'm very sure all the learners at Unhan are very lucky. Just imagine how many millions of Indonesian outside there is not being able to enter Unhan. So actually you should be clapping yourself to be a Unhan and to be where you are. So appreciate every moment you have to grasp the right knowledge. When I saw Dr. Adi's CV earlier, even I would like to be Dr. Adi's student. There are so many things that I can learn. So we need to learn. Do not say this is AI, this is engineering. You need to know some knowledge. I believe that is the motivation for you to have this webinar today. So you can see how AI can actually help you to work when you are in the logistic departments. Because logistic need to think of time, right? Resources, and how to get them there. So these are the parameters need to be given for the FWD, forward-based distribution point. All right, it need to have the material, need to have the supply, and we need to have the demand, and we need to match them. So in order to match them, you can use AI to help, right? So let's move on. Let's see, not only that, I also forgot to tell you, if you are in the Air Force or if you are in the Navy, I'm sure before the Air Force flight takeoff, there is a background check. You know, there's so many background check before the submarine or the Navy ship takes off. There is so many engineering background, technicality background check need to be done. Just imagine, we all are humans, but the armed forces in Malaysia, we are grateful to have our armed forces because of the armed forces, and in Unhan, I believe is the same case. I would like to thank my Malaysian armed forces, and I would like to thank Unhan's armed forces as well. Because all of you are doing your great job, we as a rakyat, we as the citizen of the nation can sleep well at night. You know, how many armed forces do not sleep at night just to take care of our sleep at night? So we are grateful for them. We are grateful to all of you. So just imagine, the person has not enough rest, go for all these technical check. It might be a just small screw loosen. You know, just a small screw loosen, and we might lose a life or a cruise ship life. Life is, it cannot be valued. So having said that, let us look how in the overseas are they using AI in defense logistic management, and also how AI actually help to do the technical maintenance check. Let's have a look.
Time for another special report now from Driving the Future, a programme from the CILT and ITM Productions. Logistics are fundamental to the armed forces, where transporting goods and people securely is crucial to operations across the world. Have a look at this.
This has absolutely been a boyhood dream for myself. Following in my grandfather's footsteps, I joined the Air Force, and everything I've done since has been fantastic. I've loved every minute of it.
Dan Woolard joined the RAF as a logistics specialist. He's risen through the ranks to become an officer, typically leading a team of up to 100 personnel, doing anything from loading aircraft in the UK to providing catering on operations anywhere in the world.
I wanted to join the Royal Air Force because there are so many exciting opportunities available. And I absolutely love working as part of a team and working, traveling around the world. Some of the best jobs I've ever been involved with are actually centered around humanitarian disasters. So I've deployed to the Philippines, I've deployed to South Sudan, and I was heavily involved in the Ebola outbreak in West Africa.
RAF Wittering has been an active military base for nearly a century. It's now the home of the RAF's Deployable Engineering and Logistics Force. Military operations across the globe depend on support from this base, which is located just off the A1 in Cambridgeshire. This Capability Day is an opportunity to showcase the diverse range of roles that the RAF's Deployable Engineering and Logistics Force offers. Any of these functions can be delivered anywhere in the UK or deployed overseas within hours. The logistics behind keeping the RAF's aircraft airborne are immense. Functions such as movements, loading and unloading, specialist drivers, catering and supply are all pivotal. Selecting the right people with the right talents is integral to military success. Luke Mahag from Cardiff joined the RAF as an officer at just 18.
What I love doing is seeing my team prepare kit to be transported anywhere in the world in support of aircraft. And one day you might be preparing that in a hangar, the next day you'll see it on the news helping a humanitarian aid operation anywhere around the world, which is great to see.
These men and women do very difficult things in very dangerous places.
Mr. Suresh, are you okay? Seems that we have lost the connection. We are really sorry for the participant. We think that we have a lost connection with Mr. Suresh. Please wait a moment. For the students who want to participate in the Q&A and discussion, please write down the question to the chat room, chat box. Please write down your name and your institution. Also, please address directly the question to the speaker. Ada yang punya nomor HP-nya nggak? I think I saw Dr. Haslina here. I see the Dr. Haslina is here. You will be the second speaker in the afternoon. And maybe you have some information what's happened with Mr. Suresh in UPNM.
Yeah, suddenly I was logged out. I was talking all alone, Doctor. Doctor, are you there? Hello?
Yeah. Mr. Suresh.
I was a bit shocked because I was talking, then I was thinking, why nobody is reacting? I'm so sorry. Can we? What was the last thing that you all saw?
The video of the British Army, I think.
On logistic, right?
Yeah.
Can I continue from there? Maybe on the next slide.
Yes, sure. But I think you can freeze the video because maybe.
Yeah. No, the video I just omit. I will go to the next slide. Can you see my slide or haven't shared, right?
Not yet.
Just one moment. So, are you seeing full screen or is it double screen again?
No, one screen, single screen.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Now I can see my face as well. Oh God. So you can see one single screen, right?
Yeah. Fortunately, we found you here.
Luckily, I was trying to call them. Everyone was like, "Why something gone wrong?" I'm so sorry. All right, let's move on. Without
Just
any
want to call the 911.
I was trying to call just now. Wait, I'm logged out from Zoom. Zoom kicked me out. What's happening? Maybe Zoom thought I'm too charming for Zoom, lah. All right, so let's move on. I'm really grateful for all of your understanding on the technical matter. So on the next slide, we have actually concluded on the introduction of what is AI, what is defense resources, what are the parameters needed to be what we call to be fed to the AI, to be fed it up to the AI so that the AI can actually complement all of us and to be together with human being, work hand in hand. Maybe another day when there is an alien invasion, maybe our AI will be working together with us to defend the planet of Earth. So basically we're going into a next session, which is AI in industries. I have a short video as well on just to inspire you all on the AI, but is it okay, Dr. Adi, to play this video? Shall I skip it?
Yeah, I think it's better to skip the video.
Right.
Otherwise, you will lose again the connection.
All right. Okay. So basically, I will just explain to you what is this video all about. This video is actually showing how AI is being used in robots to actually help the armed forces to deliver, to diffuse the armed bombs and so on. So basically, moving on the next slide. So this is the impact on the human resource, AI basically become the technical backbone for the HR managers to accelerate and to train all the war fighters to invest on the next generation. Basically, in the recruitment process, I've explained how this data needed to be fed in so that the AI can tell the Harry Potter, remember the Harry Potter's hat, to work on that, and then AI can do people analytics. That means the AI, while our military personnel are actually on field, while they are on field, AI would be able to actually analyze the reaction rate, the reaction rate and so on. So this will be able to help to pump in the learning and the development of each person. As everybody know, you can't compare yourself to another person. Everyone, the Almighty have created in a very unique way. You are beautiful as you are already. You just do not need to compare yourself with others. Learning means today you are at position 1, tomorrow you are at position 2 in your own pace. So what is the issue with the current learning process is that normally we will put everybody in one group, just like what Einstein said. We will put elephant, we will put fish, we will put monkey and everything, and then we expect the elephant to swim. Is it fair? Definitely it's not fair. So basically AI will help us to personalize each person's learning. Have you ever seen the Navy? I do not know whether you have this. I have a student who's very good in his education. He's very good in running. He's all good. But the issue he had was he's a Navy officer. He's going to be a Navy officer. Can you believe this? He cannot swim. So everybody had to encourage him, and finally he made it. He was good. So as far as I tell, when we fed all these people analytics and the recruitment data and everything, this will help to train each personnel to their best from one level to another level, because we cannot put all beings in one category and make sure they will pass. So AI is going to help us on that matter. So on the next, we can see, in order for the AI to work, the AI need to identify, the AI need to acquire the innovation on the digital and everything, and it need to create a sustainable, this is the only way we can actually create a sustainable funding, and also to make sure the base is properly supplied. Right, this on the thing. I really wish I can share this video, but maybe I will share a short video and I will stop in middle so that we don't lose connection again. I really want to show this because I want you to see the robot which help to save a human being. Because let's say, let me explain how does this work. When we are venturing to an unknown sea, just imagine we are going to a terrain that we are not familiar with. Or maybe we are familiar. Let's see how. Let's give a scenario. Let's say a couple of people who doesn't agree with certain things with the government, they hold somebody hostage. So definitely we need to go and rescue. So in order to rescue them, what are the information you need? You need to know where are they held. Okay, where are they held? Let's say once you know where they are held, you need to read the terrain. You need to check. You need to check into the building. Is there a normal road that we can access? Is there any back end doors we can access? Is there any rooftop landing that we can do? These are the things we need to do. We need to check this. And then how many hostages, how many people are inside there? Just imagine, can a human being know this? Unless you are a Harry